morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Today is Monday, May 1st. First of the month. Welcome to a new month. SPY is currently down a little bit, only about 75 cents, so it's not really much, but that is coming out to, let's see, a move of negative 0.15% so far this morning. Got a couple of important price levels for the SPX futures. We're at the Fibonacci retracement coming from the COVID lows to the bull market highs. And it looks like we're kind of starting to turn around that level. And then your next support level I've got is 41.75, where it's kind of topped out at a few times here. So looking at that, looking more to the downside at the moment. SPY, on the other hand, has a resistance at about 416. The next level would be $413.50. And looking at our relative strength, right now we're just about neutral at 54, so not really confirming whether we're in a downtrend or not, but we're certainly coming off of overbought when we were above 70 RSI in the pre-market this morning at $416.56 at our high. So things look like they might turn around. We do have some pretty big news. We had FRC, or First Republic, getting seized by FDIC, and their deposits were taken by JP Morgan, as well as the JP Morgan acquired a majority of their assets. Surprised that was able to go through, considering that JP Morgan owns like more than 10% of the deposits. So I guess they were able to get a little bit of leeway there. But FRC is finished. Their stock is trading at $1.90, down from a close of $3.51 on Friday. So this one's just going to keep on sinking. The company's basically insolvent and bankrupt now. And the JP Morgan news doesn't really change that. There's going to be new management. The equity holder, the stockholders are going to go to zero. And the bondholders aren't going to get bailed out either. So FRC, I would expect to continue to go down to zero, basically. Similar to SIVB, which isn't even traded anymore. It's a OTC, or over-the-counter stock at the moment. But yeah, that is your morning brief. Not really much else to talk about. Just let's get to trading, I guess. We've got about 45 seconds until the market opens. We do have actually an economic event this morning at 10 a.m. with the non-manufacturing PMI coming out. So that could change market direction and volatility, potentially, at 10 a.m. So in about 30 minutes. All right. Okay. There's the opening bell. Starting by looking at a call credit spread, assuming under 416 today. Right now, that's only paying 34 cents in credit. So it's not a very great credit that we're getting out of that trade as of right now. Doesn't offer us a ton of cushion at all, considering we're already trading at 415.72. So I think I'm going to hold off on that trade for right now. Let's see. But they're going for 35 cents a piece. Which means if I want to get like $200 in credit today, total, I would need to open 6 and risk 390. Currently above 50 RSI, so that's looking slightly bullish there. We could wait for a crossover at 416 and then take the 418 Fibonacci level instead too. Or we could assume a breach of the Fibonacci level today. That would be a $2 move up, which is about 0.5% from Friday's close. So wouldn't be out of the cards given the momentum starting to take the upside right now. Right now, that call debit spread is very, very cheap at 20 cents a piece, 21 cents. Probably want to set my stop loss at the morning lows, which would be about, let's see, $415.38 as of right now. So I'll create an alert at or below that. And then that will be my stop loss order. All right. Probably willing to risk maybe 200 on this, so I'll open 10 of them. And right now they're going for 20 to 21. Actually, I might just do a regular call. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a 416 call instead of the call debit spread, just so I don't limit my potential for this trade. And my break even is going to be lower as well, so that helps. 0.78. All right, so I'm buying 3 416 calls at 70. I might get them for 75 cents a piece if I'm lucky, but usually my luck is not great with getting good prices. All right. I was able to get them at 78, so probably overpaid for them a bit, but we'll see how this plays out. And my stop loss is going to be, again, that 415.38 level at the morning lows. New options alert. Just opened a new SPY call expiring today. 5-1 at 78 each. $4.16 strike price. So slightly out of the money from where we're trading right now. But if we do end up hitting my target at 418.21 by the end of the day, then that option would be worth at least $220 after I bought it for $80. So could be some good upside potential there. Create an alert at or above 418.21. We'll just call it 418.20. At or above. So those will be my cut loss, take profit targets for today on that 416 call. Thinking that QQQ will drop today. Probably not. Let's see. It's down right now by 0.15%. You have Apple reporting earnings on Thursday. Apple is down by 0.3%, so it's down, but not very much. Still staying below that $170 level. I could say it potentially breaching the $170 level by Thursday, but so far we haven't been able to reach that. All right, looks like SPY's pulling back with Apple at the moment. Just a little bit. Still have some downside cushion to 415.38. Looks like Amazon is slipping right now. So yeah, it looks like tech is performing pretty poorly, to my surprise this morning. Apple is down 0.25. Amazon right now is down 1.75%. So that's a pretty steep drop. They finally broke that 104 level that I was waiting for on Friday. But I did not hold that option over the weekend, so didn't get that opportunity. That's all right. The VIX is at 1616. Jesus. Brutal for the VIX. Yeah, the Fed meeting is on Wednesday. Good morning, AA. I'm doing great this morning. Good morning, Arlene. Good morning, Irfan. Welcome. Happy Monday. Getting so close to that 416 level, but not quite there. My calls are up like $3 each, so not really changing much yet. Looks like we have a rejection. First thing off of that 416 mark. But momentum is looking good. We're at 60 on the RSI. MACD is trying to go positive with the 12 moving average line. The 26 moving average line, of course, is lagging behind that, so still a ways to go if we want a positive MACD. But RSI definitely feeling bullish right now at 60. So let's watch how this plays out. All right, we breached the 416 level. So now we're probably going to test the pre-market highs at 416.56. Market closed at 415.93, so we're above market close on Friday. The next 5 minutes after that, we went up to a high at 416.31. We're about to hit that already. And then again, that pre-market high at 416.56. Those are going to be some important levels to watch out for. And then, of course, the Fibonacci level that I'm looking to take profits at. That SPY call right now is up by about $20 a piece. 30% return so far on it. Not too shabby at all. Good morning, Donald. Let's see if we have any important news coming out today. I might want to take profits before the PMI report comes out at 10 a.m. just because that can spark some volatility and send us in the other direction. Might not be a bad idea. Let me see. Let me double check the timing on it. I'm pretty sure it comes out at 10 a.m. Economic calendar. I don't want to take that off, so go to Chrome instead. And of course, we got to filter by US data because it doesn't remember my preferences. And today we're going to have the manufacturing PMI actually coming out in 4 minutes. I thought it was at 10 a.m., but it's actually at 9:45. So maybe change of plans here, taking profits at this before the PMI report rather than holding it through. Expectations is 50.4. Previous was 49.2. And then you have ISM manufacturing employment coming out at 10 a.m. and then new orders at 10 a.m. So could change our direction right here in about 4 more minutes. But definitely looking bullish. We're at 66 RSI right now. So definitely a lot of strength at the moment. Oh, my cover calls for UVIXI have basically gained all their value. Even with my expiration date 2 weeks away. UVIXI currently trading at $3.46. So some brutal downside for the VIX with all of this upward momentum and, kind of trading flat for the past month has reduced the regular VIX down to 16. So obviously that is going to really impact UVIXI, especially with the time decay that occurs with it. Definitely not helpful. But let's see, my calls that I bought for 78 are going for 108 now. So not too shabby. What are my prediction for Uber earnings? Let's see, Uber. Jeez, they are rallying like hell, 4.5% this morning. Reporting earnings tomorrow before market, pre-market, interesting enough. They have resistance at about 33, roughly, based on the highs that they've seen in the past couple of months. And then back here as well. 34 is your next price level to the upside that I would be watching. I would think that Uber's business would be slowing down for this quarter. Maybe last quarter would be good just because it was holiday season, a lot of traveling. I would imagine that this quarter, though, would probably see a significant slowdown, especially with people spending less money in the economy as of the last month or two. Let me see. A year ago, they were doing negative 303 earnings per share. Last quarter, they did positive 29 cents. The earnings really fluctuates a ton between positive and negative, so it's really hard to get a guess as to how it might come in. Let's see, negative 303. Let's see if there's a pattern here. Negative 303, negative 06, negative 226. Doesn't seem to really be a pattern or anything for this earnings season. So really hard to say whether they'll beat or win on or beat or miss on their earnings, I should say. But I would say, up 4.5%. You have that gap up from 31 to 32 right now. And this isn't one of the mega caps that you would expect to just keep going up. So I would probably take the downside trade on it and maybe assume that it'll stay below $34. I think that would be a reasonable assumption. So a call credit spread at a call credit spread at 34.35, I think would be your best play for tomorrow's earnings on Uber in the morning. Good time to buy UVIXI call for Wednesday. Do they have Wednesday calls? I didn't know that they had intra-week expirations. I think. Oh, you're talking about the FOMC on Wednesday. Yeah. I think that could be a decent idea. I would probably want to sell it before the FOMC just because that can be a volatility killer if it's a nothing burger. That would send volatility down even further. So I would take profits if you can ahead of the FOMC meeting on Wednesday. Unless, the only thing that would spike volatility is if Jay Powell is giving any forward guidance as to if there's going to be any more rate hikes. We've seen the odds for another 25 basis point rate hike after this one for May 3rd creeping up. If you look at the FOMC watch tool for the month of June, the odds of another 25 basis points after this one in May is currently 28.8%. Last week, this was, 24%. And a month ago, the markets weren't pricing this in at all. So the markets are starting to price in another 25 basis point hike, given the inflation that we've continued to see. We've seen core PCE moderate, but not enough for the Fed to, stop raising rates. So the markets are slowly pricing in that extra 25 basis points more and more. All right, SPY's at 416.50. Pretty good stuff. Getting closer and closer to that 418 level that I want to take profits at, and my calls right now are going for a nice little $132 a profit. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. And this is a new monthly high, so don't really have anything to compare it to on the monthly chart. If we're comparing it to the yearly chart, again, you're looking at that 418.21 mark. Your next resistance might be 416.60 based on this high right here, but we're already there at this point, so I'm guessing 418.21 is the next level to look out for. And we are getting there pretty quick with this candle. Right now my calls are up by 60%, so nice little profit I got going on so far. And an early AMC buy call trying to get at a day trade and then go into set a trade today. What do I think AMC would report on May 5th? I don't have any estimates for AMC. I think that it's going to be volatile in either way, but not something that I would personally trade. The earnings is on 5/5, which is Friday in the pre-market. Let's see what the expected move for the stock is. 78 cents, 80 cents in either direction, which is about 15% in either direction. So if you're buying any calls or any puts for AMC earnings, you're expecting it to make a very volatile move, which is, to be expected since it's, AMC, GME. The meme stocks are very volatile around their earnings reports. If you watch their last earnings, let's see how much they moved. They ended up going from $6.05 all the way up to $8. The earnings before that was pretty flat, actually. Didn't really move much at all. The one before that, they went from 17 to 22. Jeez, like 30%. So yeah, sometimes you can get a decent move out of it and make profits off of a put or a call, but I probably wouldn't take that. 15% is a pretty sizable move for AMC. Have I entered SPY? Yes, I did. 416 call option that I bought for 78 cents a piece. Now they're going for $1.24. So you would be a little bit late on that one. But my guess, SPY might end up reaching $418.21 by the end of the day. Looking bullish right now, both on the hourly chart and the 5-minute chart. You're looking at the hourly chart at 65 RSI. MACD isn't looking ideal for this trade, with both lines sloping down with a 12 and 26 moving average. The 5-minute chart, though, you're looking at 72 RSI, so getting overbought here doesn't mean that it's going to sell off immediately. You can be overbought for an indefinite amount of time. And the MACD just saw a double crossover for both the 12 and the 26 moving average going above zero. So pretty good looking trade so far. You are getting a little bit of a pullback here at 416.67. And the manufacturing PMI ended up coming in basically at expectations at 50.2 versus 50.4 expected. And this is up from previously 49.2. So a good improvement from the March report, which is probably wanted in this market, given that manufacturing has been kind of shitty for the past year. If you look at all of the manufacturing reports from like Texas, from Philly, from basically any of the major cities that the Fed is in, all of those manufacturing reports have been awful for the past year. So it's good to see that manufacturing PMI, at least the Purchasing Managers Index, it's a forward-looking study, is actually improving. What's my delta in my portfolio? Not really too sure. If I add up all the deltas on it, well, I have UVXY calls and then I have SPY calls, so it's kind of hard to really get a proper delta since I'm trading different options, different stocks, I guess. Right now, I have a 350 call for UVXY that expires this week. Probably going to take profits on that before the Wednesday FOMC, just in case there's a drop in that. Delta on that is 45 right now. So slightly worse chance of expiring out of the money. And that would actually kind of be a negative delta since it's trading UVXY. You would assume that SPY would come down. So negative 45 there. For the 416 call, I have a 60 delta. I have a negative delta on a UVXY cover call, 15. And then the other option is basically worthless, so I wouldn't use that. So between all of my options, let's see, 60 times 3 right now, minus the UVXY, even though it's a different one, 45 times 10 of these I actually have. And then you would add the cover call. It's not going to be exact, but 15, 16 times 2. So a negative 2.38. So right now I have a negative delta in my account. But given that, UVXY is a cheaper stock compared to SPY, you can't really say that's necessarily accurate. What are some cheaper stocks you recommend trading options on, or just saving money until you can play around with SPY and Apple? There's certainly some cheaper stocks that you can trade options on. Usually the cheaper stocks don't move as much. Something like Coca-Cola would be pretty good. It's a $64 stock, so not super expensive. But, Coca-Cola doesn't have a ton of volatility to it. It's only up 0.2%, so you're not going to get that much from the delta. If it's only moving, 10 cents, you'd only get 10% of the delta value. You could try AMD. AMD is definitely, one of the more volatile names. It's currently trading flat, but you saw it move from 91 this morning to 89, so a $2 move in about 30 minutes since market open. So decent, sizable move on AMD that you could have taken advantage of. It's a $90 stock, so it's not like super cheap, but their options aren't incredibly expensive. If you're trading weekly options on it, let's see, for an at the money option, you're paying like $300. And then you can always lower your costs by doing spread options as well. So you can just buy an option, sell a separate option, buy an option, sell an option with a separate strike price with the same expiration date. And that reduces the amount of capital that you need. But you do need a margin account and level 3 options trading in order to enable that. So something to keep in mind. But yeah, seeing an initial pullback from being overbought on the 5-minute chart. 65 on the RSI, currently trading at $416.41. Still well above my cut loss at 415.38. So don't really have to worry about this trade right now. Just wondering if we can hit that 418.21 mark by the end of the day. Momentum is still looking bullish, but it is starting to kind of pull back with 66 RSI coming off of overbought at 72. Might even move my mark up to 416 instead of 415.38 so I can secure more profits for this trade. QQQ is about to break even, only down 0.04%, right above that $322 level at the moment. So still looking a little bit negative on QQQ, but bullish in terms of RSI at 54. Starting to turn bullish on MACD. Let's see if we can zoom in. You see the 12 moving average crossing above 0, 26 lagging behind that, but almost getting to 0. So some positive moves in QQQ for right now. No problem, Wonder Spots. What are some cheaper stocks you recommend? And thank you. What are some cheaper stocks you recommend? Yeah. So, Coca-Cola doesn't move a lot, but AMD certainly cheaper, but you're still paying like $300 for those options. And the more expensive, the more volatile that a stock is, generally the more that you're going to pay for the option too. So that's something to keep in mind. I want to find a stock that we can compare with AMD and show you that, but what's a $90 stock that's not super volatile? Let's check out oil stocks maybe. Okay. ExxonMobil is a $116 stock, so it's about 20% more expensive. I would say it does have a decent bit of volatility to it too, but not as much as AMD. So if we look at options here, if we're paying for an at-the-money option that expires this week on May 5th, we're only paying $106 for an at-the-money put, $131 for an at-the-money call, right? And again, if we're looking at AMD, on the other hand, we're paying $315 or $310. That also has to do with the upcoming earnings report on AMD in the implied volatility going into that report. But the more volatile that a stock is, the more volatility that's expected of the stock, the more expensive your options are going to be. All right, SPY's pulling back now to 415.89. Still have a little bit of cushion down to 415.38. So holding this for right now on the 416 call. Not going to panic out of it just yet. Starting to go below 50 on the RSI. But it looks like that just got bought up. But yeah, tech is not doing so hot today. Apple is down 0.2%, which really isn't too much. AMD's really pulling back from 91. Carvana is the other stock that I'm watching for earnings this week. It's still up 3%. Kind of thinking about taking that trade early, maybe. Carvana doesn't report until 5/4, which is 2, 3, 4, 3 days away. That would be, I think, Thursday after hours. So still have a long way to wait to that. But Carvana, at this point, this is basically a zombie company going into bankruptcy. You know, the timing on bankruptcy is uncertain, but can't imagine that they'd have a great earnings report given, you know, how expensive cars are, expensive with the, or especially with the high interest rates that people are charging for it. So I think they're going to have a pretty rough earnings report. Not sure if they would breach new lows at 350, but I think that it's pretty safe to assume that they would be below like 650, maybe 6, maybe even 5 if you're lucky. And with their stock up, 3% today, might be an okay opportunity. No, that is not the right stock that I wanted. Carvana CVNA. Again, they're not reporting earnings till Thursday, but with their stock up 3% today, I feel like it's a decent opportunity to get it on early. If we want a 650 break even or above, we could start with a 750 put going for 90 cents right now. So break even of 660. Make $10 for every 100 we spend, roughly. If we go with the $8 put, you're paying $120, so you can make $130. Sorry, you can make $30 for every $120 you spend, so about 25%. It's a little bit better. Delta on that is negative 64, so $64 profit for every dollar it drops. And if it does reach my worst case scenario, those options would be worth $300 a piece. So I think I'll buy a couple of these. $8 strike price. And that's towards the upper end of the expected range this week, so I don't think we have to worry about those options expiring out of the money either. All right, snag those up at $120 a piece. New options alert, premium. Just opened a new Carvana put expiring this Friday, which is the, what day? 5/5. at 120. All right. SPY's still bouncing around at that 416 mark, not really choosing a direction here yet. Still bullish on RSI. MACD is starting to pull back with the 12 moving average. And QQQ not really moving either, down 0.2% like it was earlier. So no definitive moves from this 416 mark yet. We had the 10 a.m. construction spending coming in at positive 0.3% versus 0.1%, up from negative 0.3% prior. ISM manufacturing report came in 47.1 versus 46.8, so not really much of a surprise. It is below 50, which is negative, and up from 46.3, so that is a positive move month over month, which is good. Definitely a lot different from the initial manufacturing PMI coming out at 940, considering that it's at 47.1 versus 50.2 expected, or 50.2 for the prior report. Would I recommend going into Carvana? Buying it as a stock, no. I think that buying puts on it would be an okay choice for the end of this week. You could even extend the expiration date to next week. Could be even better idea just to give it more time until expiration so the stock can move more. And if you're looking at an $8 put expiring next week, it's only like $22 more expensive. Your break even is $6.62, so you're increasing your break even from $6.80 to $6.60. So you only have about $10 to make from that versus $30 to make from it in my base case scenario of coming down to coming down to $6.50. Keep mixing up with SPY trading at 416 right now. Meta dropped off. Let's see. Yeah, small drop in the bucket, 237. Not really much of a move, but 1.12%. Apple is still trading at 169.50, so not really changed much. Everything is just kind of flat today from the looks of it. IWM is actually making a decent move to the upside right now at 176 after it sold off all the way down to 171 just a couple of days ago on Thursday. That's a pretty sizable rally for IWM. It's still within range that it's been in. Between 173 and 178 for the past month, so not really changed much, but it did dip all the way down to 171, so that was definitely a pretty good bear trap that they got in for IWM. Finally breached the bottom end of that range, but then they made a move up right after in a couple days. Might hammer some Amazon puts. Still trading at 104, so it's not changed much. I would want a significant break of that 104 level to start buying puts personally. And then your next price level is 99.50 to the downside potentially. I would probably give that a couple of weeks until expiration though. I don't think that it'll move another 3-4% in a very quick manner. right. Might be coming back up for SPY at 416.15 right now. So we're trading in a pretty sizable range, I guess, in this past 15 minutes. Tried to breach the upside, but got rejected so far. My Carvana puts are already up 5% or $18 for the three of them. My SPY call is still up by 21%. Still waiting on some more upside. It's at 57 RSI, so I'm not too worried. You are seeing a slight pullback in RSI going from 75 to now top at 60. But we'll see if this pullback is brief or not. Nvidia has to come down. That's what we keep saying, but it never freaking does. $282 for Nvidia right now. Ridiculous, man. I think it's just following the sentiment for every other big tech name, which all of them have just been going up since the beginning of the year nonstop. So no change in sentiment there. It's just going to keep perpetuating up probably until their earnings report, or if the Fed is more hawkish than expected on Wednesday, if they do announce the possibility of another 25 basis point rate hike or even more, another couple 25 basis point rate hikes after this meeting would definitely be a shocker for the market. No more Greg's picks. I have the trade alerts, yeah, on the premium. Where is it at? Right here. A couple of options that I opened this morning. Close the 416 call at 120. Very, very nice, sir. Good job, Gary. He closed them for 120. They're going for 102 right now. So he got out at a good price relative to right now. What percent on total return would I sell the Carvana puts early for? I might close them if it reaches my 650 price target by the time earnings comes out. So right now it's trading at 706. So if you see it drop, 50 cents, 58 cents from where it's trading right now, between now and Thursday, I would probably take profits then. Let me see if I can. I'll set an alert for it for a cross below 650. So if we come below 650, that's a 58 cent drop from where it's trading. The options that I bought have a negative 65 delta. And I paid, let's see, 120 for them. So that would be about a 54% profit, not accounting for any theta decay. If we have, 3 days, 4 days worth of theta decay. If we add that into it, let's see. Minus 0.07 times 4. That doesn't seem right. Okay, so in a few days, that would be 1.2 minus 0.07 times 4. That would be 92 cents they would be worth. Okay. Oh, wait, no, we need to subtract the price it would be after. What is math? Okay. Negative 65 delta times 0.58 cents. So that would be 37 cents, 38.38 over 121. So about 30%. All right. 121 plus 0.38, that'd be 159 minus 0.07 times 4. So it would only be probably about 10% profits by Thursday. And that's if it reaches that $6.50 price target by Thursday before their earnings. But I would rather rely on price levels rather than, a specific percent that I'm looking for. All right, SPY's going back up. 416.72. Getting closer and closer to that 418 mark that I'm looking for. Very, very close. Let's see what ES is at. SPX futures are almost 4,200, so that could also be a resistance level right there. The obvious round number, important to watch out for. So I might want to keep an eye on that just in case we end up pulling back from that. What happened with SoFi earnings? Haven't looked into it. Let's see. SoFi. Whew. They are down from... they're down about 7% as of right now. Earnings came in at negative 5 cents versus negative 7.8 cents expected. So a beat on earnings per share, still negative. It seems like even if there is a beat for these smaller companies, they still don't do very well. So SoFi down about 7% as of right now. They were trading in the middle of their range for the past year, so not really too surprising to see them drop that 7%. Last earnings was about the same. They ended up going up on it though. But it seems like this earnings season is more focused on the big tech names, and if it's not a big tech name, they get sold off pretty heavily. Like if you watched, what are some stocks from last week? Snapchat fell quite a bit from $10 to $8.85. So basically anything that's not a mega cap tech stock doesn't seem to be performing well on earnings. Even if they do have, a small beat on their earnings, it doesn't seem to really matter right now. It seems to be a lot of concentration just into the mega cap names. So probably why you're seeing SoFi selling off by 7% right now. The revenue ended up rising for the year, so everything's looking okay for the company. But their stock just isn't getting any love. Looks like we broke that high, but we weren't able to maintain. Let me pull up yesterday's price levels. 56 for the RSI and pulling back right now. Kind of looks like a double top formation as of right now. 52 on the RSI, so not looking too pretty right now. But it is just kind of channeling in this range between 415.75 and the highs at about 416.75. So no major moves as of the first hour of trading, unfortunately for us. The 12 moving average is pulling back to the 26 on the MACD, so starting to see a little bit of weakness showing right now. But mostly just kind of remaining neutral in a very broad range. What's up, Ice Cold? How you doing today? This damn market is just so choppy this morning. All right, QQQ is down 0.25%, so it looks like we're pulling back from the highs for QQQ, but not yet for SPY. Might throw in a call credit spread for QQQ, assuming it'll be below 323, 324. Let's see. That can protect us on any downside for SPY as well. Just want to make sure I get a good credit for it. With a 323 strike price, chose the wrong side of that trade. It's only paying about 17 cents as of right now, so not a great risk reward. But RSI certainly looking weak, currently at 40. MACD, both of the lines, well, the 26 moving average wasn't able to break even at 0. And then the MACD, the 12 moving average, ended up going negative, so looking like a bearish crossover. Let's see, next price levels I've got is 322.08 for QQQ, and then I'm looking at 319.70, but that's a pretty far away. Maybe like 321.22 or 321 price level. Not really enough downside. Maybe 320.5. The call credit spread really isn't worth it, but if we're looking for just a regular long put, the 322 put is going for 86 cents. You can make about 60 cents off of that. And then the 323 put is 150, and you can make about 100 or so off of that based on my 320.5 price level that I'm looking for. And that's based on our close as of Thursday. Let me get an accurate number. 320.4 actually. So we'll create an alert at or below 320.4. Watching out for the 322.08 price level to the upside right now. Okay, so I can make 60 out of 90 right now for 66 return, about 100 for 160 for 62%. Let's see. So it looks like the 322 put is probably your best for right now, if we do continue the downtrend. Right now we're at 40 RSI. Again, MACD went negative. So looking like a possibility. The options are a little bit expensive at 92 cents. I was looking to buy them at 90. Don't want to overpay for them like I usually do. So we'll wait on it. Another green day. Yep. Starting to be, at least. Starting out that way, 0.05%. It's probably just going to be another flat day, I guess. Another like 0.1% day or something. Small. A 416 iron butterfly might not be a bad idea either. I'm almost willing to bet that QQQ is going to recover back to break even like it usually does when you see a significant sell-off. It was down like 0.3%, so not really too significant. But yesterday's close was 70 cents above where it's trading, so at roughly 322.50. There's really not that much upside there either. Not really much potential in any direction for this market. SPY is still above 416. barely holding on to that price level, but MACD just crossed over. RSI is 50.5. So yeah, this does look a little bit more bearish than bullish right now in terms of price action. Looks like they're trying to save QQQ. There's just not enough momentum to get it going in either direction. IWM is the leader today, up 0.65%, almost trading at that 177.11 resistance that I'm assuming is the top of the monthly range. No, it's actually right in the middle, I guess, the bottom end of the range. For these days, trading between April 11th to the monthly expiration at 423. So you might be seeing 177 for IWM if the markets can catch a bid and go up today. Something set off an alert. Oh, QQQ just went above 322.08, so turning around possibly here. Went just above it and pulled back. Just a bunch of small moves this morning. SPY ended up bouncing at about 50 on the RSI, so that's looking healthy so far. But yeah, just a lot of back and forth trading action right now. Nothing definitive. Apple's pulling up to, no, actually falling down 0.5%. So it wasn't able to hold that 170 level long enough. Now it's pulling back 0.5%. Let's see the other big tech names. Amazon down 1.5%. Microsoft still at 306, down 0.3%. Nvidia is probably the leader. Yeah, 2.4% for Nvidia. 284 right now. Doesn't stop. What other names? Tesla down 1.6% today. Down from its 165 high. So it ended up getting rejected to that 165 level. Let's see. Facebook, Meta, down 0.9%. So all the tech names, all the big tech names at least, are dragging the downside. But QQQ is only down 0.15%, which is seemingly pretty low considering, Meta's down 0.9, Apple's down half, Microsoft's 0.3, 0.4. So you would expect more of a sell-off with these big names pulling back as much as they have, but not really seeing much for QQQ. Can I play any music? Not without getting copyrighted, unfortunately. Not without copyright. Gotta love YouTube. Even if you play like 5 seconds of music on a 2-hour stream, they'll be like, nope. We're gonna take your monetization. Yeah, no problem. Wonder Spots. Thanks for coming in, and thanks for the super thanks. Catch you tomorrow. All right, yeah, our new range is 415.75 to 416.50. Just trading back and forth between those. Gotta love getting trapped in ranges. QQQ is certainly pulling back though. 0.3% now. Almost 0.27%. With Apple coming off of its highs, that would be expected. And that 322 put option I was looking at is still going for about the same price, a little bit more expensive. But still catching some bids at the lows at 321.60 or so. People still want to keep on buying it up for right now. But the 12 moving average is definitely separating from the 26 on the MACD. Both of them are negative. So bearish momentum there, but just above 40 RSI. So this could end up just chopping, just like we're seeing for SPY. You might have a wider range between 321.60 and recently has been 322.2. So about a 60-cent range. But yeah, I would keep my eyes on Apple with that pulling back 0.6% right now. Definitely something to watch ahead of the earnings report, which is Thursday after hours. AMD is the earliest reporter this week. I think tomorrow, if I remember right. No, maybe not. Reporting 5/2. Yeah, tomorrow after hours. That's what I thought. And if y'all haven't watched yesterday's video, I go over all the price targets that I have. Yes, still holding you, Vixie. Probably till Wednesday. And then closing some before and after the FOMC meeting. I might do half and half. But yeah, just no definitive moves yet for the market. Just a bunch of back and forth. SPY is actually looking a little bit more bullish than QQQ right now. At 416.55 versus QQQ. Only at 321.81 versus that resistance at 322. That it's been getting rejected by. Got a alert from the news app that I follow. Let's see. Well, where did it go? All right, SPY's at 416.80, so we're seeing a little bit of a pop right now. QQQ is still lagging behind, but FSLR, they bought a 200 put that they made $260 profit. Let's see, FSLR. First Solar down from 200 to 185 in the last couple of days. Not bad. It's up 1.5% this morning. But still made a 200% profit on that. Even after earnings. Let's see, FSLR. Yeah, they had a pretty sizable gap down, about 10%. All right, SPY, let's break out of this range. Hopefully headed to 418, but still about $1.15 away, so sizable move that we would need to the upside considering this flat trading action we've seen for the first hour. The delta on these calls right now is 66, 67. So that would put these options at about 180 when I bought them for, let's see, 80 cents a piece, 78 cents a piece. So about $100 of profit for each of them. Right now they're going for 120. So maybe I can meet halfway. I like 140 or so. No, actually, it'd be 150 that I would be selling them for. But yeah, that was a decent pullback to 50 RSI and then bounce back off. So I would say that was a healthy pullback that we got first thing. Off of hitting about 417 and then rebounding right back off of that 416 level so far. They took away your options, didn't go over day trades. Why would they restrict you? I mean, that would be the only thing that I could think of if you did more than 3 day trades. The only other thing that I could think of, depending on your account size and if you're using a cash account or a margin account, I think that you need $2,000 or more for a margin account. So if you have a margin account with less than 2,000, then you might be restricted just because of that. That's the problem that I'm having with Aries right now. My account's like 1,000 and it's a margin account, so I can't make any trades on it. So if it is a margin account, you could either switch it to a cash account if you have less than 2,000, and then or you could deposit, another X amount to get to 2,000. That way you can use a margin account. That would be the only thing that I could think of. Yeah. Yeah, so you could switch it to a cash account if you're under 2K, and then you should be able to trade then. But I'm pretty sure the requirements for a margin account is 2,000. Balance requirement. Yeah. Minimum margin states that a broker can't extend any credit to accounts with less than $2,000 in cash or securities. So you need more than 2,000 in order to use a margin. So you could either switch to a cash or deposit enough to get to 2,000. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, you might need to adjust the questionnaire, I guess. That could be another possibility. Didn't really think of that, but pretty sure you can refill the questionnaire. You might have to reach out to customer service with it, but should be able to fix that pretty easily. Damn, UVixie is getting slaughtered with this low volatility down to 336. The VIX itself is at 1570, a new low for the VIX. Even after the bank failure. Pretty crazy to see the VIX this low. especially ahead of FOMC. But it seems like recently any of the economic data that's been coming out really hasn't been taken too seriously. It doesn't seem to affect the markets. Even with core PCE on Friday, you didn't get much of a move at 8:30 whenever that came out. So it's very strange how the markets have been trading so flat and then catching these little upside momentums intraday. Seems like the markets just don't really care about the fundamentals right now. The only thing that really matters to the markets, it seems like at the moment, is just the mega caps continuing to go up nonstop with Apple, Microsoft, not Tesla. Tesla's the only one that dropped. Well, I guess Amazon did too. But Apple, Meta, Microsoft, pretty much every big tech name just keeps going up relentlessly. So seems to be the only focus that the markets have for the past couple of weeks, it seems like. Yeah, Thinkorswim is pretty good. You do have the 65-cent commission, and it doesn't offer the best fills. It's just about the same fills that you'll get from Robinhood, from what I've seen. I would say your next best option, if you don't like Thinkorswim and their prices for the options, E-Trade is a good one. They have the best and the quickest fills. You could do Fidelity. They're a little bit clunky though. In terms of user interface, they're very old school and kind of slow, honestly. Every time that I use the Fidelity mobile app, I usually get a couple of glitches. So, not something super reliable if you're wanting to get in and out of a trade relatively quick. But yeah, E-Trade's pretty good. And then the other recommendation that I would say would be Aries would be my second best. They don't have any commissions like Robinhood. Very similar in user interface. Don't have to worry about a major change in how you trade. And they have decent fills too. They're a little bit better than Robinhood. Usually for a spread option, you'll get like 1 or 2 cents better. Yeah, E-Trade's pretty good. They're definitely the best in terms of fill prices and fill times. They're hands down the best. All right, here we go at 417, breaking the new high. Got $1 left to go up from this morning's expectations that I had set. My options are up by 75% now at 135 a piece. I bought them again at 78 cents. So almost doubled in price. Not quite there. These are going for 136. Thinking about taking profits of 150 if we can make it there quick enough. $165 is a decent chunk of change, though. Pulling back from that high first peak above it. QQQ almost going neutral, 0.05 red. But yeah, everything's still looking bullish right now. You're looking at 65 RSI. MACD was about to cross over, but ended up continuing to go up for the 12 moving average. Both the 12 and the 26 are still moving up well above zero. So momentum is definitely bullish as of right now. Don't think there's going to be anything that'll change direction either. So SoFi, yeah, SoFi's still going down 8.5% from that 580 support resistance. But yeah, pretty much anything that isn't a mega cap tech stock, if they have their earnings, they usually get sold off. It's what it seems like this quarter. Like even with Snapchat posting a positive earnings for this season, 1 cent earnings per share versus negative 23 cents expected. Huge beat in terms of earnings per share, but their stock's still sold off by 15-20%. So the markets are just brutal to any like mid cap or small cap stock. Thinking about moving my level up. Let's see. Our previous range was above 416.50. We'll call it 416.60. So we'll move this up, secure our profits. And if it comes, oh, what the heck? Come on now. 416.60. Dang it. There we go. We'll replace that alert. For at or below 416.60. And still looking at 418.20 to the upside. Those calls are going for 138, so they're getting closer and closer to my profit target at 150. Still about another $60 to make out of them. So I could sell them for about 200. Actually, a little bit more, just based on intrinsic and extrinsic value. Intrinsic value would be $2 each. Extrinsic value would probably be pretty low since they're pretty deep in the money. About $2 in the money if it reaches 418. I'd probably say they would go for like 210 to 220 if it hits the 418 level that I'm looking for. EBS, Narcan drug, seems to be doing poorly. Not a huge fan of biotech names, or not biotech, but these pharma companies. They're super volatile around these FDA approvals, which can make you a lot of money or they can lose you a lot of money. Let's see. Emergent Biosolutions is the name of the company. Currently trading at $9. They started at $7.74. So if you bought ahead, could have made some profits there. Let's see. $50 price point for the over-the-counter version of opioid overdose reversal. Yeah, I don't really have much say on bio solution companies. So, they have the FDA approvals, or if they get rejected, they can go up or down a shit ton. It's really like a coin toss. It's a 50-50 chance that I wouldn't trade on. Just based on support and resistance levels, though, you have about $8 is a support level, maybe $8.50. Then resistance, you have about next one would be $9.75, and then $10.50. So those are your next price levels to look out for that you could take profits or cut losses at. Momentum is definitely not great. It's at 38 RSI. Both of them, MACD 12 moving average and 26 moving average, went negative. So price action is definitely bearish as of right now, but kind of just trading in a big range between 775 and that high at 14. All right, those call options just pull back on me. It dipped just below that alert. Just enough to set the alert off. But not enough to sell below it. All right, QQQ is breaking even, so things are looking to the upside right now. Apple is almost back to 170 again. Carvana is still down, thankfully, with my puts down at 701. Low on Friday was 686. Maybe we get there by the end of the day, but markets could have some impact on Carvana stock and holding it up. All right, I think if we go below 416.60 again, I'll just take profits here, just in case we do make a U-turn back into that chop range between 1580 and 41660. Don't want to get trapped in there for the rest of the day. Would not be ideal. So watching for that 41660 level. So now you're probably going to have a new range between 41660 and those highs at like 41705 or something like that. Might burn some time there. So I think I'll take profits if we get closer to 417. So let me set an alert with 417. At or above. And then keep monitoring the 41660 level to see if we break below. I would think these options would go for about 125, 130 if we hit 417 again. And then I'll take profits at that. QQQ is breaking even, but now pulling back 0.06%. Hopefully we don't get trapped in this range for too long, though. All right, we're at 415.659, so just below that mark. Trying to hold the range. Still looking bullish in terms of RSI. MACD, you're seeing a similar pullback to what we saw earlier. If this line does cross over, that would be bearish though. But it did not cross over last time. SPY just hit its highest level since February 3rd, before the Silicon Valley Bank. Last up 0.2% today. Let's see, February 3rd, right here. And then looking at February 2nd as a resistance at about 418 is where I'm trying to take profits at, but just a bunch of sideways price action for after that 417 high. The highest on February 3rd was 416.97. It's about 417. All right, looks like we finally broke that 416 to the downside. So let me try to get out of these. 105, maybe. They're dropping really quick. Of course, as soon as I want to get out. Might have to let them go for $1 each instead of 105, what I was looking for. Maybe even 95 each, unfortunately. Let's see. No, I think I can get out for $1. All right, place the order for $1. Haven't got filled yet. The ask is 96 right now, so I might have to drop it a little bit. QQQ is back down 0.2%. So either you're going to get some bearish price action following this or just trading back and forth again like we were earlier between 416 and 416.60. These are getting really cheap now. Down to 85 cents now. No fills for the life of me. Okay. Yeah, moving down too quick to get any fills in. All right. Got out for $2.40, 80 cents each. Premium just took profits on the SPY 416 call expiring today for 5-1 at 80. Okay, so not a huge profit there, but that momentum definitely just killed us right there. And QQQ now down 0.4%, so you're looking at 322 as your next resistance level, and then your next support again, looking at 320.4 with this momentum shift to the downside. Those Carvana puts are doing good now with that drop, helping us out. And let's check out the QQQ puts. That'll probably be my last trade for the day. It'd be nice if we could get back to 321.50. We could get that a little bit cheaper. And my price target would be 320.4, and then worst case scenario, maybe 319.70. So right now the 322 put is going for 105. I was looking at that for 90 cents earlier, so that definitely got jacked up a lot. The 323 put has a break even of 321.20. If I'm looking to take profit at 320.4, that would be 80 cents profit for $180 spent. Less than 50% profit potential there. Not as good as that SPY call I was looking at. So I think I'll miss out on that one today. Unless we can make these a little bit cheaper with a 322 put at like 95. Right now they're at 105, so a bit too expensive. And then I would probably take or cut losses at 322.08. Above. And then take profits at 320.4. Potentially 319.70 if it sells off that much. SPY just went back to 416. So they bought it right after that dip down to 415.80. All right, we're back to the lows. That put's going for 95 now, so I think I'll try to enter just a couple of them. Don't want to spend a lot. Now they're going for 97, 98 cents. $1 now. Jesus Christ, they move too quick. All right, I'm gonna put in my order for 98. I'll leave it at that. Oh, come on now. No, now they're going for 95. Okay. I like 95. I actually got them for 93. It's a little bit cheaper than I wanted. New options alert. Premium members. Just opened a new QQQ put expiring today, 5/1 at 93. Strike price 416. Or no, that's the wrong one. 322 strike price. All right. So again, watching 322.08 to the upside if we cross above that. And then hopefully below 320.4 where I would take profits. So that's the last trade I got for y'all today. And I will catch y'all tomorrow, Tuesday at 9:30. See you, everybody.